Hi, my name is Jamie Peck. This presentation is for ED 530 and is being used to demonstrate instructional improvements that I recommend my organization begin as soon as possible. First, why do we need to improve? Our current education system is outdated. The same education we received when we were younger was developed for an industrial society. Today, our students of the 21st century need different skills than we did. They need to be well-rounded in skills known as the 4 C's, such as communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. What are some of the areas that we could improve in? Currently, I feel that our educational organization could use instructional improvement in 2 ways. After research, I've determined critical elements that are essential to effective instructional improvement. In his book, Visible Learning for Teachers, John Hattie identified 42 elements that can maximize the impact on learning. The two that would help with our instructional improvement the most are number 18 and 30. Let's look at element 18 first. This concept states that teachers and students use the power of peers positively to progress their learning. Although I'm not currently in a classroom teacher, I've observed our school environment in many capacities all year long. My observations have led me to see that there's a need for peer learning. In math, I've seen students put into groups based on their abilities. Due to this ability grouping, I've seen very little peer mediation take place. If the students were grouped with different students, the peers may actually help all students move forward in their learning. This group work also usually focused on completing individual tasks after a whole class or whole group instruction. How are peers going to be a positive aspect of the learning environment if they aren't utilized effectively? Here are some of the observations I've made in our organization. There is a need for peer learning, teaching, and collaboration. The daily math rotations have students grouped only by ability. The ability grouping has less peer mediation. Students mostly listen to their teacher's lecture. I don't see a lot of peer activities. And also, the teachers are doing most of the work. What would adding peers into our instruction do? The short answer is that they will progress our students' learning. They can give feedback, tutor, provide students with friendship, make school a place everyone wants to come. They provide emotional support, social facilitation, cognitive restructuring and rehearsal or deliberate practice. They provide caring, support, help, and conflict resolution. Peers can also support learning opportunities. John Hattie has also identified that peers have a high effect on learning at D equals 0.52. So here are some ideas to begin implementing peers into the classroom. First, collaborate with colleagues. Through grade level collaborations, teachers can integrate project-based, problem-based, or performance-based units that will have students work with peers collaboratively to solve real-world problems. Summative projects have higher order thinking skills, which will require students to solve multi-step problems, create unique work, and devise solutions. Therefore, rigor and relevance will increase. A second idea would be to use Think, Pair, Share. Introduce this strategy in your classroom to begin using peer learning. Teachers can pose an open-ended question to the class. Give students a minimum of 10 seconds to comprehend and think about the question. The students then pair with a neighbor to discuss both of their answers and their thought processes. After a few minutes of discussion, teachers will have students share their responses. Third, model your expectations. Teachers who want to create a highly collaborative classroom model what listening looks like, what paraphrasing looks like, and how to question. Proper modeling will lead students to be the leaders of their learning. Teachers then take a position as facilitators to whole and small groups. A fourth idea would be for having small groups. Students can use the power of their peers to help gain higher order thinking skills. Use of peer teaching is an excellent opportunity to move students to have students collaborate and teach each other new concepts that may be beyond their current abilities. This peer impact will continue everyone's learning in a forward path. Now let's look at element number 30. Hattie describes element 30 as teachers using principles from backward design, moving from the outcome success criteria back to the learning intentions, then to activities and resources needed to attain the success criteria. My observations in our organization so far have been that teachers are too focused on specific textbooks. There's too much reliance on their favorite lessons and activities from the past years of teaching. And the teachers are too focused on teaching instead of learning. What would adding backwards design in our instruction do? First, the teachers will know where they are going before they begin the lesson. Second, the teaching departments will now have a plan for what skills and knowledge are needed to get to the end. Number 3, assessments will already be created so teachers are aware of what needs to be covered. Number 4, there is more of a focus on output rather than input. Number 5, this design process increases student understanding and ability to apply learning to new contexts. Number 6, students will be more engaged when the purpose of learning is clear to them. So how can we begin to use backward design? One idea is to start collaborating. Invite your teachers to pick a unit that needs improvement. Allow them time to organize and meet as a grade level to begin the process. During collaboration, encourage your teachers to explore their orbits of ability. As Janet Hale and Michael Fisher explain in the book Upgrade Your Curriculum, each group member brings a knowledge, talent, or expertise to the table. So every teacher has his or own orbit of ability that others can learn from when it comes to instructional design. Working together will help them improve one another's capabilities. A second part of my plan would be standards. Teachers should look at their standards, whether it be Common Core, GLEs, or other standards. Number 3, list. What do your students need to learn? Think of the skills, concepts, and knowledge they will need. Number 4, assessment or projects. Design the final assessment or project students will complete to demonstrate their understanding of their mastery of skills, knowledge, and concepts. Number 5, the final part, create. Design lessons that will lead up to the unit's desired results. Teachers have the opportunity to raise rigor and relevance when they actually use the rigor and relevance framework. You can move a simple activity from quadrant A to quadrant D. Time is ticking. Think back to the days when you were in school. We must move beyond our current educational system to prepare our students for this new century. Begin your instructional improvement today. Our students' futures depend on the foundation we set for them today. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration on this matter.